Hey y'all, welcome back for part 4 of our On Point Rail Fence quilt. Let's get going on borders. Okay, we have 8 strips of 3.5-inch gray fabric that I'm attaching end to end to form the long pieces for the sides of our quilt. The way I chose to attach this quilt is with the strip side on the bottom. That way I can see all those biased edges that I really need to not stretch. I attach 2 sides that are opposite each other and then go back and do the 2 remaining sides. Just a very basic first border because let's face it, this quilt needs more than one. And of course, if there's any excess border fabric left when I get to the end of it, yeah, I'm gonna just flip it up and cut it off. Makes it so much easier. And as you can see, I'm using my arm to shove the bulk of the quilt on through so I'm not stretching those triangles. Yay! And we have border 1. Let's press it, or finish pressing it since 2 sides I did off camera. Now you didn't think we were done, right? Time to start on border number 2. I had a lot of leftover 2.5-inch strip sets. So what am I going to do with those? Make a border, of course. These sets are 2.5 inches by a set of 4, and what I'm doing is combining them all together in random fashion into 4 sets of 10, knowing I will have to add more to at least 2 of them later. Keep on sewing, keep on sewing, keep on sewing, sewing, sewing. Yeah, can you tell I have minions? Alright, I use my pins pretty liberally with this border because there's a lot of it and it's just easier to keep it all in one go. I did have to disassemble the border just a smidge on the top and bottom because it was one 2.5 by 4 piece strip set too long, but I added those to the other two and they came out just perfectly for the sides. And now we sew. I'm telling you, these two top and bottom borders came just perfectly to the edge of the quilt. I didn't even have to trim a thing. I was so happy with that. Okay, time for our side borders. Now, what you don't see, because I'm a little out of frame, I'm taking the other end of the border strip and attaching it and coming back because I wanted to make sure everything was just the right length. And yes, Jack may have come out for a square, but my other goal was to make sure that the two corner pieces were not the same color. Alright, let's add these two sides. Dang it, I had to bring out Jack. I was having a few tension issues with this border. Well, I have lost Bobbin Chicken. And the new Bobbin has decided its purpose in life is to give me fits. Yay! Here we go with border number 3. I have cut 9 5-inch strips. So right now I'm going to cut off the selvages and then we're going to sew all of these together. I'm just sewing them end to end like you would for binding because I'm just going to wrap this quilt and be done with it. As you can see, once again, I am sewing this on with the border side down because I want to make sure that none of those seams on the second border flip. I'm also making sure to back tack at the beginning and the end of these because I do not want them coming off. There's two sides done. Now, I did not show you the pressing, and I will not show you the pressing at all for the borders because we're just pressing out toward that border, and I'm not too concerned with it. You'll know how to do that. Here we are. We finished on point rail fence quilt with 1, 2, 3 borders. A wonderful scrap buster. This is a queen sized quilt. You can make it smaller. You could even go bigger if you wanted to. This is queen size. I'm absolutely loving it. And if I can figure out the proper angle where I can film actually quilting this, I will quilt it on camera, but it's an if. If I cannot figure out the proper angle or can't get my tripod to, stay upright, I will just have to post pictures. Either way, I'm going to quilt this with the walking foot on my Juki, and it's going to be brilliant. Let's break this down though. I used 2 monochrome jelly rolls from Joann's that were 24 pieces each. I used a bunch of leftover jelly roll strips that I had just laying around taking up space. I used some white jelly roll strips that I had that were extra just to add into the monochrome. Then I used some Riley Blake yardage that I had hanging around, the white, the gray, and the black. And I finished it all out. All in all, a great stash buster. You don't have to make it monochrome if you don't want to. You can just do a bunch of jelly roll strips and cut them up and have a blast making it. So y'all have a great day. Have a great week. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye.